People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal free, Borehamwood's free, or better yet, Arsenal's under 23s free, Borehamwood free. Now, I'm not going to go hard on them, not going to go harsh and speak about the minor details I normally go in and things like that. The key thing in this game or these games is fitness, 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 fitness. For the under 23s, they've got a double whammy. The end goal is to get a look in the first team. Potentially, you look at Medley, you look at Amish, you look at John Jules. You're seeing Saka and Martinelli training with the first team. You're with the 23s. I'm sure they all want to go on tour and show Emre further what they can do at this level, sort of thing, or what they could potentially do if they're given a chance, similar to how a couple went to Dubai. I'm sure they want to. So these games could show Emre or the coaching staff, yo, when it comes to Europa League time or time in general, I'm a name you've got to keep on your lips. I'm going to need first team football sooner or later. Obviously, Steve Bold and Freddie Ljungberg have swapped positions, so they're starting again. Steve Bold's been at Arsenal forever. He's been in this position before, but it's a new manager. Whether these players make it at Arsenal or not, they're going to have several different managers in their careers, whether they stay at one club and they keep changing it or they move to different clubs. So they have to deal with going to zero. People that were first names on the team sheet under Ljungberg might not necessarily be the case under Bold, and vice versa. People that weren't given a look in under Ljungberg, Bold might think you're the best thing since sliced bread and get a look in. So everybody's earning spots. Everybody starts again. I believe if you look at left back, Thompson is playing for a future, for example. I believe left back and centre half at 23's level, we're going to be up against it at times next season because of the departures. And I feel there's spots for grabs. You look at right back, there's not really an undisputed winner. Tutu's gone on loan, and yeah, there's Swanson and Liinka and people that can be forced there. Left back, there's Thompson. There's not really anything else, but people can play there. Centre half, Ballard's gone on loan, so it's probably going to be Medley and McGuinness, but you got Medley, McGuinness, Clark, Young, Gongbo, I can never say his name, first year scholar. He might get first team football for 23's football if he develops well, and he actually got some minutes yesterday, so if he plays his cards right. So I think there's enough incentive for people to play well. Of course, one game doesn't mean anything. Of course, like I said, it's a friendly, it's a yearly annual friendly we do, but there's enough reasons for young players to put in good performances regardless. And also some players are playing for new contracts to survive. We can't also forget that is the main factor of this football. And I believe some people look at Nathan Tormey, I can never say his name, they're playing for their futures, really and truly. Obviously it's nice for our young players to play against men, like grown men, sort of street smart, physically better men, because like 23's football, I feel when our players are technically and physically better than everyone, you're not learning. For Medley example, Medley's got a lot to learn, and I've been telling you a lot. Medley, when it comes to ball playing, he's probably the best centre half. Defensively, I don't believe he's the best young centre half. I feel he's incredibly naive. He should be someone that should be going on loan. Congratulations to him for getting the captaincy under Steve Bold, but if it gets to January and you're not going on loan, I have to ask question marks of you because of showing his naivety. The first goal that we conceded out of the three that we conceded from Bournemouth was shocking people. Long ball forward. Goal you see the first team concede. I can't even remember if the keeper kicked it or what, but it's a long ball, a flick on, and then it's put into the path of the Bournemouth man. It's poor defending from our defenders. I think Bowler and Kyle Hine, he's come out. If you come out, you got to make sure you meet the ball. It's a poor goal we've conceded within the first 3 minutes or so of the game, so we're behind. Poor defending led to the second goal. I feel Swanson found it very hard. He had a solid season at left back predominantly last season for the 18s. I think he got terrorised. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Was he playing at right back? It's a bit hard to remember right now. But he had a difficult time at fullback as well. Philly found it difficult. Medley found it difficult. McGuinness found it difficult. I feel Coyle and Balogun were quite disappointing. I feel really it weren't the best of games from people. There was decent moments. I feel John Jules, he's got a brace and whatnot. Matt Smith obviously scored as well, but it weren't. It was a poor game from everyone really and truly. If I'm honest with you, so we're 2-0 down. We've put our backs against the wall. I feel the second goal, just the build up was quite poor, man. Really poor. I feel we didn't play with the fluidity we normally do. We put together some nice moves occasionally, but you could see we're rusty. You could see that there was a whole heap of changes. You could see that people are still probably in holiday mode and things like that. It was nice to obviously pull a goal back. Matt Smith, who I believe really can nail down a spot at this level, and it's going to be competitive at this level. scored as well. Lovely play from Medley to flick it back to him in the box. Obviously it was a bit of fortune to it, but it went back to him. He slotted it, and it's 2-1. Medley went from hero to zero again. Again, I think our defense was at 6s and 7s consistently. But that pass for you, those of you who watched that game and you saw Medley's pass or attempted pass to McGuinness, and then they took it off him and went and put it in the back of the net. That is the pass I'm telling you about when I say Medley needs to focus. His positioning is very raw, and his passing at times you need to focus. You do that at first team level, you might not be in the team ever again. Like I said, I think Medley's a very promising defender, but he's very naive and very raw. And I don't necessarily think he's a better defender than Ballard, like actual defender people just defending. I think if he polishes himself, he might be, but he definitely looks more gracious. But we'll see, man. And it's not just him; it's poor from everybody involved. Like it really was a poor goal to concede, man. It really was a poor goal to concede. We obviously, if I remember correctly, we did well with Amici and Ben Cotterill did well down the left hand side to pass it to Tyrese John Jules, who obviously slotted home. I think if I remember correctly, John Jules had a shot saved off the line, or someone had a shot saved off the line. Game was a bit manic. Thompson had a very good effort. I was thinking, is that Thompson or Roberto Carlos? He had a lovely, decent effort from range that hit the post, really and truly. Obviously, I thought we got a bit of fortune with the penalty for Tyrese to step up and score his second off the bench. The changes helped. I feel the people off the bench, Amici and Tyrese, played with a difference. I feel Cotterill was okay as well. I think, was it McGuinness that got taken down? I think it was a bit unfortunate. I feel he was a bit... I'll have to watch it again. I haven't watched the replay. I did think he milked it, but like Wenger would say, I ain't seen nothing. Tyree stepped up and scored people. So, it's good enough to draw it. It's a friendly, so it doesn't mean anything. But again, there's no friendlies in football. There's always something to learn. Defensive errors. The goal we conceded first, I think that's something that could happen at 23's level consistently, because I do think we might make some recruits at 23's level. And what I mean by that is you don't want to block the pathway just because you haven't, because obviously 23's football, the grand scheme of things, winning the league and all these things, it doesn't mean anything. So you don't want to sign someone for the sake of it. But I do think we'll bring in another addition, because we do look a bit pressed at centre half. You've got a Gomba, I can never say his name, under 18's first year scholar, probably get a lot of opportunities at this level. You've got McGuinness stepping up into that fray. You've got Harry Clark. Mavropanos, if he doesn't play too often, will probably get 23's minutes football at Arsenal. There might be some other players that do the same thing. Medley's obviously will be here for the first 6 months, in my opinion, if he doesn't want to go out on loan. But we are going to be a bit pressed. That's all assuming there's no injuries and things like that. So I do think the sort of goals we conceded for the first goal, potentially both the first two, are something we're going to see at 23's level consistently because of stuff. On one hand, I would like to see a centre-half brought in just to give us some options, but I don't want to block the pathway, and I would like other players like Ogwumbo, who I believe is quite promising at centre-half, possibly if he plays his cards right, to get chances. A couple of first-year scholars, if they play their cards right, can get chances at this level. I feel Balogun's got to learn to think more as well if he's going to be a success at this level as well. I feel Swanson and Medley had a real tough time. A lot of players had a tough time, but at the end of the day, it's only pre-season. We move forward. The key is fitness. The key is understanding how Bold wants you to play and whatnot. And we'll see what happens. For the likes of Amici and Saka, you did what you could. Hopefully, you're going... I hope to God that Tyrese John Jules and Amici... Sorry, not saying Saka. Amici are going to actually join Saka and Martinelli, in which I assume going off on the plane to tour America in that, man. It'll be good for the young players. I'd like to see a Okonkwo go as well. It's also lovely to see former Gooner Ryan Hodder as well, and Vic Akers, who's part of the, our former keeper in Hodder, who's playing for Borehamwood. Hopefully he gets promoted into a high level sort of thing. And Vic Akers, who was part of their coaching staff as well. I think they've got another Arsenal coach at their club as well, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, in regards to Arsenal's 3-3 game against Borehamwood, a bit underwhelming. I don't really feel any of the young players can say they had the greatest of games. Poor goals conceded at 6s and 7s. Really got to improve really fast and really quickly, people. So we'll see, man, because I think it's got to be a big season for the 23s. I want to win the International Cup. I want us to go as far as I can with the 18s in the FA Youth Cup, but I want to win the league, even though it doesn't really mean anything, because we've come second and won it the league before and the year before. And I want to win the Checo Trade Trophy in the International Cup. I want to do the treble. Who wouldn't want to do the treble? Obviously, you've got Chelsea side, you've got great sides, but I want to do the treble. Obviously, any team wants to win anything, and my expectations are higher on the youth sides than the first team, really and truly, because these have more of a chance of winning things. But Yeah, man, we've got to step. A lot of these players have got to step it up, man. Especially a lot of the Coils, the Tormies, the Swansons, the McGuinnesses, Thompsons. A lot of you lot that need big seasons, or you're not going to be here in a season or so. Really and truly, I think Coils got a lot of potential to have a good future, but he's kind of stagnated in the last couple of seasons. I think he needs to have a good season. He signed a new deal, I believe. I think it's 2 years. I can't. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But he needs to have a big season. I believe in his potential. I think he's going to have a good future. But a lot of them need to stop playing within themselves and do their thing. Um, yeah, man, it's a good experience. The main thing was fitness. So on that note, what more can I say, man? Arsenal 3, Borehamwood 3, under 23s, for their first friendly. Obviously, hopefully, a couple of them go off with the first team. The majority of them who don't, there'll be other friendlies for the 23s to play in. So key thing is fitness. Everyone's trying to earn a spot again under Steve Bold. People, deluded. I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking.